Hey guys, this is Roxy, your certified NXT Women's Champion. You're on the Real News Talk channel. The Retro Kid, Retronic Ice Cat, you know what the fuck to do.
Yeah, that's right. You know what the fuck to do. This is the Retro Kid, Retronic Ice Cat on the Real News Talk channel yet again, coming back at you with another news topic. This video is about Deonna Purrazzo not foreseeing WWE working with TNA Wrestling until now. As some of you may know already, that the WWE and TNA are come to terms with working with each other and having wrestlers cross path every now and again. And that started with Jordynne Grace, who wrestled her first match on NXT, crossing over from TNA Wrestling as the Knockouts champion. And she's about to face Foresee for the NXT Women's Championship at NXT Battleground this coming Sunday. But why not have both titles on the line? Why not have the TNA Knockouts title and the NXT Women's title on the line? Why just the NXT Women's title? That's what I don't understand. But it will be interesting to see how the match unfolds and everything. But this whole deal between the WWE and TNA is interesting because 10 years ago, you would never hear WWE utter the words, the three initials, TNA, let alone Impact. It wasn't until later years they started mentioning TNA. I think Kurt Angle was the first one to mention TNA in a segment, in a backstage segment with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, saying that, oh, how the roster is full. But I do know that TNA is hiring. So that was the first reference. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that was probably the first reference that WWE made by mentioning TNA wrestling. And this was, I think it was 2017, 2018, around those times when Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn were causing havoc on Raw. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting one, you know? And I wouldn't be surprised if they start mentioning AEW as well, because one of the NXT commentators, right, almost mentioned the full three letters AEW, but he stopped at AE when Ethan Page made his NXT WWE debut when he attacked Trick Williams, who he's going to face for the NXT title at Battleground as well. He almost mentioned the full letters, but Booker T stopped him at the AE. It was like, whoa. You're not allowed to say AEW, you're not allowed to mention AEW. But I wouldn't be surprised if they start mentioning AEW very soon. You know? Because I could see WWE and AEW working together in 2026. You know? And starting the Monday Night Wars all over again, just like they did with WCW in 1996, and it will be the 30th anniversary from when the WWF and the WCW went toe-to-toe, when WCW whipped their ass for 83 weeks straight, you know? So I could see the WWE and AEW working together, you know, in a make-believe angle, just to help out AEW and bring more eyes onto the company, because AEW right now, they're sort of struggling storyline wise, because their storylines is just all over the place. It's not consistent. One minute this wrestler's feuding with that wrestler, the next minute they're feuding with somebody else. It's like, it's very inconsistent. Like, there's no direction. You know, that's the only problem with AEW, is that they don't know how to create good storylines. It's like they just half-ass their storylines, and they don't really use some of their wrestlers as much. It's like you use them 1 minute and the next minute they just disappear. So there's a lot of inconsistency going on in AEW, and they need to fix up with that. That's why a lot of people are losing interest in AEW, and that's why they're not bringing in many fans to their arenas, to their shows, because of the lack of storylines, the creativity. That's one thing that they need to work on. AEW has the capability of being a great show, and Double or Nothing was an example of that. You know, they can be a great show when they want to be, but overall, their storylines and characters have been lacking as of late. You know, despite having Mercedes Moné, Adam Copeland, Saraya, you know, and some of the ex-WWE stars on the show that are trying their best to make it a great show, there's something missing. There's an ingredient missing in AEW. And once they gain that ingredient, then it has the capabilities of stepping up to the WWE and becoming one of WWE's biggest threats since WCW. That can happen. You might not see it now. You might think that, oh, what are you talking about? AEW will never amount to WWE, but you never know. Never say never. Anything's possible. You never know what can happen in the future. You might say one thing now, but later on, you won't be saying that. You'll be saying something completely different. And you'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe AEW is surpassing WWE. Damn it, man. You know, they could surprise you. Just like Rebecca Quinn could surprise all of y'all by going to AEW, by making her debut at All In or All Out later this year. She's taking a little bit of time off to be with her family and recuperate. But she will come back to wrestling, no doubt about it. But it won't be in the WWE. Most likely be AEW. Hence why she didn't sign. She didn't re-sign with the WWE. Because if she was going to come back to the WWE, they would have gave her a sabbatical. They would have made her have some time off, because Triple H is now running things. And Triple H, I'm sure he would give her some time off. But that doesn't seem to be the case, because she never re-signed with the company. Because if she was staying, that would have been the case. She would have re-signed with them and come back when she's ready. So that's the reason why. Just because her husband re-signed doesn't mean that she's going to follow as well. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of couples, there's a lot of married couples that wrestle in different promotions. And I think that's for the best. It makes the relationship a lot more healthier, because you don't want to be in each other's faces all the time, 24/7. So I can understand why couples decide to wrestle in different companies, because after their time on the road, they'll see each other anyway. So, it won't make a difference. Not everybody has to be together when they're working. And that's what some people have a problem understanding. But they'll never understand anyway, regardless of what you tell them, because they're too biased, because they're used to seeing people like Becky Lynch in the WWE, because she's been there for so long that they don't want her to go anywhere else. They want to hold her hostage. And the reason why Mercedes Moné said that she left the WWE in the first place, because she felt handcuffed. She felt like she's been held back. Okay, people can say that her mic skills is not that great, blah, blah, blah. But as a heel, her mic skills could be off the chart. Maybe she's not good as a face, but as a heel, she's something else. Because she has that in her. She has that rough, rugged spirit in her. When she's ready to bring it out, you'd be surprised. It's because the ones that you think that can't talk on the mic, ain't got it in them, they'll be the ones that will surprise you the most. And they'll outshine a lot of the people there. A lot of their co-workers. So you can't underestimate people. You understand what I'm saying? Because a lot of these wrestlers, they're not in full control of their character. So they're just going with what they're told to do. Some of them can actually talk on the mic, but some of them have been told not to say anything. They should just go with the flow. They should just go with their character. So we don't really know these people. We don't really know their full potentials until they actually display it. When they have the permission to display their character, they will. And you'll be surprised. So anything can happen in the world of pro wrestling, man. Anything can happen. So with Mercedes Moné, I can see her turning heel very soon. I think they need to turn her heel because she's more better as a heel than a face. You know, she's a bona fide heel. And with her as a heel, she'll be very good on the mic. And she can express herself a lot better. And she'll be more authentic and real. You know what I mean? Before I go into the article, I just want to say a few things. Bailey, her contract is expiring later this year or early next year, the latest. So I don't know whether or not she's going to re-sign with the WWE. And I know people are going to say the same thing. Oh, Bailey shouldn't leave the WWE. She's just stay in the WWE, not go anywhere. But what if she wants to leave the WWE and go to AEW and work with her friend? Because I'm sure those two have some unfinished business character-wise with each other. And I'm sure they want to end their careers with each other. You know? Just imagine. Bailey. Mercedes Moné. Rebecca Quinn. Those three in AEW together. What if those three were to form a team? A serious team, a dominant team. Because don't forget, those girls were part of the 4 Horsewomen. But I know Charlotte will not be there. Because obviously her husband Andrade has recently rejoined the WWE not long ago. So I don't see her going to AEW. But those three, believe it or not, you might not agree with me. You may think that I'm crazy by saying this, but those three could potentially create the female version of the NWO. That could potentially happen. If Rebecca Quinn were to go to AEW, and Bailey as well, if she were to resign, maybe she would be called Pamela Rose or something like that. I don't know. But I know it wouldn't be Bailey. It would be something else. But those three together in AEW, I reckon it will be something magical. When those three create a stable together and cause havoc among the women's division in AEW, that would be sick. That would be extraordinary. But if all three of them were to be in the same company by 2025 next year, that could potentially happen in 2026. 2026, the 30th anniversary of the NWO being established. That would be the perfect time to execute it if everything was to go to plan. You know? Because you know what they say, expect the unexpected. So anything can happen in the world of pro wrestling, like I said. You know? And we can agree to disagree on that. You know what I'm saying? And around that time, AEW could potentially start a feud with the WWE. A proper feud. Because it'll be 7 years. They'll be 7 years into the business. So it'll give them a chance to step their game up and potentially give WWE a run for their money. But it's going to be one hell of a fight though. And it will make wrestling exciting again. It will make wrestling cool again, as what The Rock would say. You know? Because AEW is just like WCW. And TNA is just like ECW. Because remember ECW in 1997? When they crossed path with the WWF on Monday Night Raw, when you had Rob Van Dam, you had Sabu, you had those guys that would come and wrestle in the WWF and wrestle jobbers. on a random basis. So that's what they're doing with TNA. They're doing the same thing with TNA. And I won't be surprised if guys like Moose, Sammy Callahan, and the rest of the crew cross path and start feuding with other wrestlers, whether it be NXT, Raw, or SmackDown. So a lot of interesting things are bound to happen down the road. And it's going to be very intriguing to see what the outcome of it will be. But let me get into what Deonna Purrazzo, my girl, let me get into what she said about the whole thing. WWE has surprised millions around the world with their recent alliance with TNA. NXT Battleground will feature Jordynne Grace challenging Roxanne Perez, aka Roxy, for the NXT Women's Championship. This will be the first time in years when a star from a different promotion would battle for a title in WWE. Since Grace's appearance on NXT, there have been speculations that more stars from the promotion would make their way to WWE in the coming weeks. While there haven't been any updates on others, WWE clearly has some good work in terms with TNA, which could be featured in the future as well. Former TNA Knockouts World Champion Deonna Purrazzo recently spoke with Dexerto about WWE's recent collaboration with TNA. She mentioned that WWE's decision surprised everyone, but emphasized that it would be highly beneficial for talent from both companies. This is what Deonna Purrazzo had to say. WWE working with anyone, it kind of blows everyone's mind. I don't think anyone had that on their bingo card for them to cultivate their relationship with TNA. There are so many people there. My husband, of course, Jordynne Grace. To see them get that opportunity is amazing. If this flourishes and there's more opportunity for not just Jordynne Grace, but for anyone on the roster that could be really special, it's going to put more eyes on the product, in the words of Deonna Purrazzo. While WWE has featured TNA stars in the Royal Rumble matches earlier, a singles match with a title on the line has turned everything around this time. Do you agree with Deonna Purrazzo's comment on WWE working with TNA? Let us know in the comment section below. Yeah, I agree, of course, because, like I said, it makes things intriguing and it gets a lot of people talking, and it will have more eyes on the company as well as TNA. You know what I mean? People will start watching TNA again. I know TNA is trying to find a permanent TV deal as well as a permanent arena where they could be wrestling, and they're going to start wrestling globally as well. So TNA is starting to slowly pick up again because TNA has been on a sinking ship for well over a decade, and ever since it reverted itself to TNA again, it's starting to step up, and we can see the likes of AJ Styles make a surprise appearance on TNA for the first time in well over a decade. That would be very nostalgic, and a lot of goosebumps will be rising too if he were to make a surprise on TNA. You know what I mean? So yeah, a lot of interesting things are happening. And Deonna Purrazzo, she has her reasons why she turned down WWE's offer, because WWE offered her a contract, but she turned it down, because she doesn't trust the way WWE would use her, and it's highly understandable, you know what I'm saying? Because Deonna Purrazzo is very talented woman. She can go, and she doesn't want to jeopardize the way that she could potentially be used if she were to go to the WWE, because She wants some control of her character, and she believes that if she were to go to WWE, she will not have that privilege like she does in AEW or when she was in TNA. So yeah, I don't blame her for signing with AEW instead, and she seems a lot more happier, because it's not always about the money. At the end of the day, your health is your wealth. Your mental health is more important than money at the end of the day. So yeah, we just have to see how this whole thing plays out. It's looking very interesting. So let me know what you think. Are you excited for TNA and WWE potentially working together? Me personally, I think it's going to be an interesting one, because we're going to see a lot of former WWE superstars like Dolph Ziggler, Dana Brooke, Mustafa Ali. I won't be surprised if they were to show up in the WWE again. It's like they never left. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is the Retro Kid, Retronic Ice Cat on the Real News Talk channel. Say no more videos coming. I'm out. Word.